Hi, freshman seminar. So we're getting ready to write our typed essay for Common Assessment 2, which is about our non-cognitive skill or our non-cognitive area of improvement. So the very first thing that I need you to do is to open up Microsoft Word, which I have right here, and let's just get the formatting right. We need it to be Times New Roman. We need it to be size 12. If you are one of those students of mine who normally has it a size 14, please make sure it's a size 14. If you're one of those students that has a size 16, make it a size 16. The next thing you need to do is make sure, click this thing, it's the up and down line spacing arrow. Make sure it's 2, then go back to it, and make sure you remove the space after the paragraph. And then it's time to set it up, so we're going to click on this thing, which is a line right. You can also do Control R. You're going to type your name, hit enter. You're going to put T2 FSEM CA, which stands for Trimester 2 Freshman Seminar Common Assessment, and it's going to be non-cognitive skill reflection. You're not done yet. You hit enter. You're going to put your period that you have for this class, comma, and your group number, just so I know who you are. After that, you're going to hit enter and enter one more time. You're going to hit center, which is Control E, and then you're going to type non-cognitive skill reflection, and then what you're going to be writing about. So my example is long-range goals. Then you hit enter, you hit enter, backspace, enter, tab. Tab is that button that is right above the caps lock button, and it's right below the number 1. So before we even begin typing, I want you guys to think about what the required components are. Inside your packet, you have this paper right here, which talks about some required components. You need to restate your strength skill, which for me is long-range goals. You need to describe an artifact, so that's something that you could actually physically show somebody, and hopefully you can explain that and relate it to an event. You define in your own words the skill that the artifact supports, and you describe how the artifact demonstrates growth or mastery. Then you list the steps that you took to obtain mastery in this goal, and you connect that goal to how it's going to contribute to you in college. So those are 6 different things. For me to remember this, I'm just going to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just so I can remember to check that later. So in this introduction paragraph, you would begin with some sort of hook. Since I'm talking about long-range goals and you all know this story and it's about soccer, I might say something like, who knew how hard I would have to work to do something that I loved? As a junior in high school, I didn't think much about the future. I didn't know where I wanted to go to college. I didn't know if I wanted to go to college. And then I met the coach of Charleston Southern. So now I would talk about Charleston Southern at soccer camp. Charleston Southern's a small school. I never would really want to go there, but he talked about all those things that I wanted to do. So I would describe in maybe like 3 or 4 more sentences about my experiences at soccer camp and with my coach back in high school. My coach told me that in order to achieve my goal of playing soccer, I would need to improve my tactical skills, my speed, and my endurance. I needed to access my non-cognitive skill of long-range goals in order to accomplish this. So what I did there is I've already gone through restating my strength or improvement goal. I have not described my artifact yet, and I have not described that skill yet. So I've only done 1. So I'm going to go back here, and remember, this section right here is something that I would have to fill in later. I just don't want to waste your time. So the artifact that I would use, this is a second paragraph, to support this non-cognitive skill would be my receipts from my speed and agility coach, as well as a team picture from my all-state soccer all-star game. So that's my artifacts. Those are two actual things that I can show you, my receipts, and I can show you my picture. But how do those artifacts actually support? So this is number 2. I've done number 2. Now I'm going to explain how it supports. The receipts came from my speed and agility coach, Mike Voss. And then I would talk about this experience, give some sort of detail so that my reader can feel like they're there, like they were there. And that would be about 2 more sentences. I would do the same thing for my next artifact that I'm describing, and then I would move on from there. So I've already done 1, 2, and 3 in this one paragraph. This probably will end up being another 5 sentences, just to make sure that I'm doing it justice. So 1, 2, and 3 is done. Now with 4, I'm going to be explaining this a little bit more. I'm going to be making a connection. So I would just continue with my essay, all the way through the descriptions where I can explain how this skill was important to me and how I needed it, and how if I didn't have it, then I wouldn't have been able to accomplish my goal. That last paragraph, number 6, is the most important. This, all in all, you should have about 5 or 6 paragraphs in your essay, and this last paragraph is explaining how your non-cognitive skill is important for college. So my goal was accomplished, but I wasn't done yet. In college, long-range goals, or actually whatever goal you choose, or whatever non-cognitive skill you choose, long-range goals are so imperative for success. If you don't know what imperative means, you can always use the thesaurus on your computer. It's Shift F7. So in college, long-range goals are imperative for success. If I am not sure about what I'm shooting for, I might end up taking a bunch of classes that are not related to where I want to be when I graduate. Talk about someone that you know. My sister took classes about history and then decided in her last year of college that she wanted to be a doctor. At that point, she needed to go back and take several courses. This added a full year to her work. All of this costs money, blah, 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 blah. In order to use my time effectively in college, I must have the skills to create and define my long-range goals. So all in all, you see that my paper is going on to the second page. However, I breezed through about 8 sentences in all. So in order to have a full, robust paper, it should end up being about to here. So about 1.5 pages is a complete paper. Do not exceed 3 pages. If you go on to the 3rd page, I will not print it. So only type into the first 3 pages. When you're done, you need to save it. So File, Save As. We'll just save it to my desktop. And I'm going to save it as my last name, cavalier.cindy.t2 FSEM CA period 1 group 4. So do you see what that looks like? It's my last name dot my first name dot T2 FSEM CA period 1 gr4. Then I click save. You are going to have to send this to me by Friday at the end of the day. My email address I'm going to type right here for you. You should know it. It's on my board as well. Actually, I'm not going to type it because this is going to be on the internet. My email address is on the board. Just ask either myself or our sub what my email address is, and you must email it to me by the end of the class period on Friday. I'll be printing them when I get back to school on Tuesday. All right, have a great weekend and best of luck with everything. Bye.